Before we get into today's match reaction, I just wanted to let you all know that I have decided to start a second channel called TJR HD. This is going to be my gaming channel. There's going to be a lot of FIFA content on there. I'm going to be starting a Charlton career mode next week. A lot of you guys have requested me to do it. I think it is actually my most requested series since I've been on YouTube, so I'm looking forward to getting that started. For those of you that are interested in me doing FIFA and gaming content, then please check the link in the description. Subscribe to the second channel. Sapning people, how are you doing? And welcome to my match reaction of today's game. It has finished at the Valley. Charlton Athletic 1, Wigan Athletic 0 in a very hard fought blood and guts performance from the Addicts. A hard fought victory as Jake Forster-Caskey's free kick is the difference between the two sides. Very open, very close match, but it is the Addicts that have come away with a massive 3 points here and could certainly set us on our way. Wigan didn't make it easy for us. They were a tough side. Wigan fans, I know they're a bit disappointed with the performance. They felt that they should have deserved something from that game. Perhaps so, but you know, I think Charlton's performance, the way that they fought for it, the way that we played, justified us getting the 3 points, in my opinion. So I will start off with the way that both teams set up for the game today. Charlton went with a 3 at the back formation with wing backs, with of course Ben Amos in between the sticks. A back 3 of new signing Ryan Inniss making his debut. Darren Pratley occupying centre-back due to the injuries of Dedra Shalaja and Jason Pearce. And of course, Akin Famewo was the other centre-back. The full-backs, or the wing-backs should I say, were Chris Gunter making his debut and Alfie Doughty. The 3 in the middle were new signing Andrew Shinnie making his debut, coming in from Luton Town on loan. Jake Forster-Caskey and Ben Watson. And leading the line for the Addicts was Chuks Aneke and new signing Paul Smyth. Now, it was an interesting lineup going into it at first. I mean, I felt it was really good that Aneke got his start of him starting, you know, alongside a player like Smyth, who was a complete opposite, a lot smaller, but a lot more quicker and a lot more nimble compared to Aneke. So I felt that would be a really good strike partnership together. The thing that I was worried about, though, going into this game was the fact that we were playing Darren Pratley and Ben Watson on at the same time. Me, personally, I think they're both very similar different players in the sense that, I mean, they're both defensive-minded players. Watson especially, I mean, you know, Watson normally plays like a sideways or backwards ball. Me, personally, though, I'm not sure about him and Pratley being on the pitch at the same time. They both did have good games today. Pratley, of course, was supposed to be playing centre-back, but he actually didn't end up playing there. He played a lot more further up the pitch than what we were thinking, and Pratley too had a very good game. But yeah, going into the game, I mean, I was interested by the lineup. Obviously, a completely different lineup from what it was against Sunderland, like a whole new team. Could barely recognise it. As for Wigan, they went with a standard 4-4-2. In goal was Jamie Jones. They had a back 4 of Thomas James, Curtis Tilt making his debut, Darnell Johnson and Gavin Macy was occupying the right-back position, typically a winger, but was occupying the full-back position. It was Viv Solomon-Otterbourne, Lee Evans, Dan Garner and Cal Naismith occupying the midfield. Naismith was an interesting one because, I mean, according to what I'd been checking from the lineups, Naismith was occupied as a centre-back due to the limited players that they have. Obviously, with the signing of Tilt, they've now got a centre-back in there, and Naismith now goes back to his natural position of winger. And then the front 2 was Will Keane and Joe Garner. So on paper, a very decent side. Obviously, there are good players in there. Obviously, a completely different team from what it was in the Championship last year. A much different side, you know. He still had some good players in there, I know. Viv Solomon-Otterbourne, a decent winger. Cal Naismith, as I mentioned earlier. Curtis Tilt, a very physical defender, like a unit in the back line. So I felt he was a very good signing, of course, coming over on loan from Rotherham. And then the front 2, Will Keane and Joe Garner, more than capable of causing problems. So that was the 2 lineups. So going into the first half, in terms of the stats, it was actually a very dominant first half from Charlton. 61% possession in terms of Charlton and 100% tackles won. So we did have more shots on target as well. Both teams had very good opportunities to take the lead in the first half. The first of which came from Charlton, Jake Forster-Caskey being the first. Of course, it was a throw on. It was a throw down the left-hand side, which ended up, I think, in Paul Smyth's direction. He was darting into the middle of the area. passed it into the penalty area. Jake Forster-Caskey by the front post did a cheeky little flick on the left foot, and Jamie Jones got down really well to pull off a great save at the near post. I mean, that would have been a guaranteed goal if he'd not put a hand to it. But yeah, very good cheeky little effort there from Forster-Caskey, but to no avail. Very good chance. Then Wigan started to pile the pressure on a little bit. First 20 minutes, I felt that we were slightly the team on top. It was a very open game. Both teams obviously looking to pressure each other. They were both playing good football, but I felt that, you know, with Jake's chance, I felt that we were slightly the team on top until they had some good chances as well. A corner came in from the right side. They won the header. And it was right down Amos's throat, but he did very well to pull off a good save. I think that was Wigan's first major chance of the game, and they did have another good one with Joe Garner, I believe it was. I think a cross come in, it was headed back by Ryan Inniss, and then Garner was there, struck it on the volley, and he just fired wide. It was good pressure from Akin Famewo and Alfie Doughty, I believe, that managed to put him off. I mean, if that pressure wouldn't have been there, then that would have been a proper net buster there from Garner, who probably should have found the back of the net. The best chance of the first half, though, came through Chuks Aneke, who was having an alright game, I think, up until that point. He brought it down so well with an excellent touch to put it past Curtis Tilt. I think the touch was just pure filth, but then Jamie Jones done really well to come out to him, and Chuks tried to poke it past him, but it went out for a corner. Jamie Jones done really well there. Chuks knew as well. He knew how good that touch was, and how that he knew that he should have been burying that chance away to make it 1-0 in the first half. But anyway, the first half ended 0-0. I thought it was a very open half. I think Wigan, you know, according to the stats, Wigan had 2 clear-cut chances compared to Charlton's 1. I felt that, you know, arguably Wigan had the better chances of the game, but I felt Charlton were playing the better football. There was a lot of tiki-taka, one-touch football in there from Charlton. You know, we were playing very well. Paul Smyth looked like an absolute threat. Kind of looks like one of them annoying strikers that just works and keeps getting on your back. And Charlton had a lot more possession, which was a surprise, as well as us having more shots, which is something we're not really used to. Second half rolled around. Wigan definitely improved a lot more towards the second half. They definitely were having a lot more attacking chances than they did in the first half. They did have a couple penalty appeals that they were saying anyway. Crosses coming in towards the penalty area, and you know, there was players having chances. It was either blocked or saved, and then like Inniss, Famewo, Pratley having to get in the way of the shots before Amos could grab hold to it. I think Cal Naismith had a good chance related to that. Lee Evans hit the crossbar as well, where they had some good opportunities. I think a cross come in from the right side. Amos punched it away. It was headed back in towards Lee Evans, who's then struck it. It was kind of like a loop-in shot, which then hit the crossbar, and then Amos managed to punch it away. That led to an apparent handball penalty appeal that Wigan had, which was then given our way. But the difference between the two sides was Jake Forster-Caskey's effort near the penalty area. I think it was about 25 yards out. I think Shinnie was quite the way away on the right side as well, was about to take it. Jake took it. He took the shot on the left foot. It bounced, I think, by the penalty spot area. It was a nasty ball for Jones to deal with in between the sticks. I mean, but Jake managed to get the shot away, bounced once, come off the post, and it found its way in the back of the net. Forster-Caskey's first goal since November 2017, so a very long time ago, nearly 3 years. That goal there will do him the world of good, and it was nice to see him get a run around today, and he did play very well. He was an absolute workhorse, done very, very well, darting about the pitch. And his goal was the difference in the game. We did have a couple good chances in the game as well. Pratley had another good one as well, where we got through really well. Jake Forster-Caskey done very, very well. The defender tried to hook it backwards over his head. Forster-Caskey's just come straight in, nutted it down, run straight down the middle, pulled it back across the box. It was a couple of yards behind Pratley. If Pratley was like a yard behind, he's smashing that in the back of the net for 2-0, but he just got behind him and he couldn't get enough power on it, and it was dealt with by the Wigan players. Wigan did have a couple of chances, did have I think a very good chance in the 97th minute with Solomon Otterbour, I think it was, or Gavin Macy, I think it was one of the two. They took a shot on the edge of the box. It was again another difficult ball for Amos to deal with, but Amos got down really well to pull off the save, and of course that was when the full-time whistle went, with Charlton coming away with the 3 points. A 1-0 victory. As I said, blood and guts performance. Of course, there were a couple of clash of heads in the game as well. Alfie Doughty got a cut on his head in the first half, and then there was a clash of heads with Ryan Inniss as well, with Lee Evans, I think it was. That one was a nasty one to look at. As I say, a very open game. Wigan maybe should have come away with something from that game. They definitely played a lot better. in the second half certainly put a lot of pressure on us, but ultimately Jake Forster-Caskey's rather dodgy free kick was the difference between the two sides, and certainly a positive for us, obviously, to see the new boys coming out there today. Paul Smyth impressed me. Shinnie had an alright game. Didn't see all too much of Shinnie as I would have liked. Inniss was good in the air, certainly an aerial threat. Gunter had a good game as well. Of course, Omar Bogle come off the bench as well today. He replaced Chuks Aneke. The thing with Bogle and Aneke is I think that they're very similar in terms of the way they play. They're both built, both quite tall. The thing with Bogle though, I think Bogle's a lot more mobile. Bogle's a lot more quicker. And when Bogle came on, I was impressed with some of the things he was doing. Obviously, he held up the play nicely, put in some good touches and was darting forward. Wigan will go back home feeling a little bit disappointed, feeling a little bit robbed, as their fans put it. Obviously, they're not impressed with the way the referee went. They had a few penalty shouts, which I can't comment on because I didn't really see it. I didn't really see him that well. I'd have to have a look on the highlights if they do show them on the highlights later. But yeah, I think that Charlton's performance justified them with the 3 points. I think it was a very good display, especially from the new boys as well. They certainly impressed me. It's going to be interesting with how these next few games are going to pan out. Obviously, we're now going midweek to weekend to midweek to weekend now, where we've got Blackpool, Northampton. We've got someone else in midweek, I don't know, and then we've got Portsmouth on Halloween. So there's some tough games in there. Blackpool is a winnable game. Obviously, they've not exactly been in the best of form right now. Crew Alexandra, they drew with them today, 1-1. So that is it for this match reaction, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, can you possibly leave a like, subscribe if you're new around there, and turn on post notifications so you're notified of when I post. We're so close to 2,600 subscribers. If we get to that, that'd be absolutely awesome. Of course, subscribe to my second channel, TJR HD. That is launching next week. It's my brand new gaming channel, of course. Loads of content in terms of FIFA. I'm going to be starting a Charlton career mode, as I said in the teaser for it earlier at the start of this video. I'm looking forward to getting it going. I'm looking forward to using, you know, the equipment that I've got, the Elgato, putting it to good use. What do you guys think of the game? Let me know in the comments below. Did we deserve the victory? Who was your standout players? Who was your man of the match? Let me know in the comments below. Also, what do you guys think about this style of videos, the match reactions as opposed to the live reactions? Let me know what you think about that. Should I carry on doing these? This has been Tyler Anderson. Have a nice day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all later.